Well, Growers Edge, I think, has made us more money by allowing me to survey the local bids that I'm in the area that I want to sell my grain. The local elevators and the ethanol plants know that this information is out there, so they've got to be competitive if they want to get the grain. You know, we've been able to maximize our return on our farm.
Good afternoon, welcome to GrainTV. My name is Cody Bills, this is Logan Burgess. Today is Monday the 10th, a WASDE report day. Let's turn over to the trading platform, see where we closed off the day. Corn for March delivery trading down 1 1/4 cents. Soybeans down 6 cents. Wheat in Chicago trading up 7 1/4. Kansas City wheat trading up 13.5 cents. Logan, take a look at the USDA reports here for domestic ending stocks. What do we see for corn?
Yeah, you know, the big mover here for corn was expected exports here raised by 150 million bushels. That was the only balance sheet revision that we saw in today's action for corn. And as you can see, as it related to ending stocks, carried directly over into the ending stocks. So ending stocks were off 150 million bushels in today's report. You can see that this is well below what the trade was expecting coming into this report. And so we would have expected to see a bullish reaction to today's number from the USDA. We really didn't see that, and I think that that's a little bit concerning here. We're going to be talking about that in more detail at the end of the show. But Cody, soybeans as well had an interesting reaction today.
Yeah, absolutely. We actually had an increase in imports. We saw an increase in residual, and actually counteracting both of those, we did see an increase in exports as well. Bottom line here is we saw ending stocks maintain 150 million bushels. That was higher than analysts were expecting. Analysts were expecting a revision of about 7 million bushels. Yep. So all in all, it was a bearish trade report here for soybeans. Logan, what did we see over for wheat?
You know, wheat was a relatively supportive number as well today from the USDA. If we take a look at this slide here once again, we had a number of moving parts to the balance sheet today from the USDA. Imports were up 10 million. Food usage was up 10 million, and feed and residual was up 10 million bushels as well. So a lot of demand side improvements there for wheat. If we look, though, at ending stock projections were lowered by 50 million bushels as a result of these demand side changes. And you can see that was quite a bit lower than what the trade was expecting coming into this report. And not surprisingly, we saw a strong reaction from wheat looking at Chicago, Kansas City, and Minneapolis wheat today.
You know, not only did we see a strong domestic report for wheat, but we also saw some revisions in exports from Argentina and the Black Sea region. Yep. That ended up drawing down world ending stocks. Right. So that was a bullish factor as well for wheat. Let's take a look at South American production. We've talked a lot about this in the last couple of days or last couple of weeks, especially when we've been getting heat down there. One thing you'll note is that really, for the most part, Brazil corn, soybeans, and Argentina corn and soybeans, all those production numbers seem to come in within analyst expectations. Yep. One thing we want to be paying attention to is what could be changing going into March, though. Logan, do you have any thoughts on that?
You know, as you said, Cody, the numbers this morning out from the USDA were in line with what traders were expecting, but I think the Brazilian soybean production figure is one number that people are going to be keeping an eye on to potentially move higher here into the April report, as you said. Today, reported by the USDA at 90 million metric tons. There's a lot of private analysts right now that are looking for this Brazilian soy crop to get between 91 and 92 million tons before it's all said and done. We do know that southern Brazil's had some heat and some stress to the crop, but Mato Grosso, that central production area, early harvested reports still seem very, very good, and people really look for that to more than compensate some minor losses out of the south. So bottom line, keep an eye on that Brazilian soybean figure. As I said, wouldn't be surprised if we saw it move higher into March, into April.
That sounds fair enough. Just keep in mind that sometimes people talk about big crops, and they say that big crops keep getting bigger. One thing to keep an eye on is world ending stocks. You'll notice that these numbers really came out within, really kind of in line with domestic use. We saw corn ending stocks, that was a bearish or a bullish number. We saw wheat ending stocks, a bullish number, and soybeans kind of came in right along analyst expectations.
You know, Cody, at the beginning of the show, I was talking about corn a little bit in particular, and we know that on average, people are looking for a relatively quiet report out for corn in terms of U.S. ending stocks. As I said, though, we had a ending stock number quite a bit below what the trade was expecting. We saw an initial reaction that was relatively positive for corn. On the day, though, we closed in red territory. I guess from kind of a technical aspect, what does that say to you when you see a reaction like that?
Well, like what you were saying, I mean, we saw soybeans come out. That was a bearish report. We got bearish price action. Wheat, bullish report, bullish price action, but unfortunately corn had initially a bullish reaction, but unable to hold on to those gains. I think that kind of maybe foreshadows a little bit of longs being taken off the table. I know we have had a nice run up into this report. This was a nice little surprise, but I think maybe in the next couple days we could see some longs start to come off the table here. Really, as this lower ending stocks is already kind of factored into prices, and not only that, but you look at the ending stocks, and it's still quite a sizable amount. There's definitely enough corn there for next year.
That's right. If you have any questions about that, feel free to give us a call here at the office. And now that we have the February WASDE report in the bag, planting season is right around the corner. If you want live quotes in the cab this planting season, visit us over at GrainHedge.com. We have a great mobile app that's available on the iPad, iPhone, Android, and tablet. Visit us at GrainHedge.com, as I said, to take a free trial. Or as always, call the office, 877-472-4607. Thanks a lot for joining us here on a Monday for a USDA report. We'll see you tomorrow.